Hey folks, excited to share our latest update to the data-driven resources workflow. So one of the unique things about EnlightenAI is you are able to not only get trends and insights on student performance, strengths, growth areas, and recommendations, but you're also able to put those recommendations into practice with a single click. And now that click is all the more powerful. So when you click data-driven resources, this is going to look familiar, but you'll notice a couple of changes. So the AI is, as it typically does, telling you what it did, what analysis it performed. It will celebrate strengths, it will identify gaps, and it will develop a resource around a reteaching objective that aligns to all of the data. So as a former AP history teacher, this one is near and dear to my heart. This was a long essay question where students wrote about feminist waves in the 1920s. And it looks like what students struggled with is really the ability to analyze and compare the different categories of events and to demonstrate complex historical understanding in their LEQ responses. This comes from the feedback, the scores, everything that I was giving. Now, as you can see, the AI is generating a resource that is pretty robust. It has like a little bit of a mini reteaching at the top so that it can be given just as a handout. It's explaining what complexity is. It's giving some model analysis, showing the difference between something basic and complex. Any piece of this could actually be quite strong, but I wonder, like, this is actually quite a bit, and this is like a full reteach. So I appreciate that pieces of this will be useful, but this is actually too long. Now, previously, what I would have to do is I'd have to go in, maybe delete all of this, maybe ask for something new. There's a bunch of back and forth. But now the AI actually has some tools and the ability to just make changes for me directly. So what I might say is, actually, I only have 10 minutes. I want to focus just on the first thing, which was, looks like contextualization. I really like the weak versus strong example, but I want not just one practice exercise here. It looks like it's kind of trying to like bite off a piece of each thing that it saw. I prefer, I just want 5 practice opportunities on 5 different LEQs that relate to periods before the 1920s, so students can practice this skill only. I just thought up that it'd be great if it could produce the LEQs as well, because then I get a little bit of review action here as well, which is always great. And now, instead of just telling it to me in the chat, going back and forth with me, the AI is recreating the resource based on my feedback. So I didn't tell it to remove any of this context around contextualization. If I told it that I didn't like that, I could get rid of it. I can also stop it, redo this if I want, but now what we're getting is a practice exercise that is exclusively about contextualization. And it's actually producing these LEQ style questions so that students are able to basically use, this skill on other topics. This is the kind of activity that I likely would have given as a practice exercise or something as like a launch or a warm-up, and maybe students would do a couple of these in partners. Now, just for the sake of time, I'm going to pause the AI here. It looks like it's done. And I'm actually going to, I'd love to go a little bit deeper. So I want a distribution or sort of an analysis of the class. So I'm just going to ask it to do that. Please analyze the class's performance. What was the distribution of scores? What did we learn? And just for our video here, I'm going to say keep it concise. So previously, AI would not have had access to all of this information, but now it actually can look up and see the performance, analyze the scores, and so showing us a distribution. This was a particularly high-performing sample of students. What's working, the growth areas, which we saw contextualization was one of them. This is great. And now what I actually want to do is I want to look at a couple of samples of student work. So let's say can you find me an example of student work that was medium in contextualization? A sample that was kind of there, but not quite there. This is the kind of example that sometimes I might put into a resource. Maybe I tweak it if I don't want the student, even in an anonymized way, to know that it was them. But now it's looking back at the student work. It took a quick read, and it found me a couple of examples and is explaining to me why these examples did not earn the point. And so it can go deeper with me into the student work. It can work with me more collaboratively. I know one of the things that y'all really want is for us to be able to group students. Right now, the AI can absolutely sort of create clusters, but it can't actually group the specific students. Doesn't have access to student names yet, nor will it. There's sort of some work we have to do to make sure that the AI can still create groups without ever seeing student names to protect student privacy. But more and more is coming, and we'd love your feedback as you give this a shot, and excited to see what y'all build and how you close gaps even faster with these tools. Thanks. Looking forward to hearing from you.